kind of consolidating here off of $16, which is right at the volume weighted average price. So I have a starter right here at 15 for a bounce off the VWAP, and my stop will be 83. This is a dip off VWAP trade, and the optimistic target would be a squeeze back to 17. So I'm going to put an order at $17 and over 1670, 1680, watching for an add for a squeeze back up to 17. So still holding full size on this right now. The dip off VWAP was the setup. 75.80 is the spot to add. Adding at 70 right there, and looking for this to break over 75 through 80, and then I want to catch a pop up over $17. So we've got 77 on the ask. Watching. I want to see it break through 75.85. There's 77. There's 78. You can see a little churn here. What was the high of that candle? 83. So I'll put my new order at 17. It's not a 5-minute setup, it's a 1-minute setup, and the high was 1683. The VWAP, volume weight average price, is at 1583. Got about 8 minutes to the bell. 1.3 million shares of volume, so 2 times relative volume versus Friday. I can use a limit order. So the limit order is 17. That means the most I'll pay is 17. This is support at 83. So dip entries at 83, or anywhere from 83 to 16. Still have a couple minutes left on this 5-minute candle. Ecor, I did take a trade on it. I'm not sure where I would go back for that one, but I might go back. I'm just not sure. First 1-minute candle to make a new high on NETE is over 55. This is from July 8th, 1978. Watching back over 17. Holding. Haven't added yet. I sold half there of what I was still holding and sold more at 1701. I'm going to let it pull back. My cost basis is 1631. So high there was 17. I'm going to let it dip down. So our high a day is 1725, and then we've got, or 17, what was this? 1749. Orders at 1720. So what I'm looking for, first 5-minute candle to make a new high, it's over 17. Just added right there. Looking for this to rip up now through 1725, 1730, and 1750. Over 1750 is an add for the move up to 18. Now it's starting to open up. Adding there, looking for this to squeeze up to 18. There's 1775. Holding. Orders at 1775 to add for the break of 18. Adding there, looking for $18. So this over 18 then has more room on the daily. So let's look for the break of 18. This is kind of just starting to really open up here. It's going to be our third leading gapper. Watch the micro pullback for an add. Adding there, 87. Sold half, 1815. Or 18, what was that? 1801, sorry, 1801. High is 22. New order goes at 1822. Adding on that pullback at 87. And over 1850 is another add for the move to 19. Now it's moving higher. It's up 55%. Watching the add, adding there at 44. Now my next target is $19. You can see how this is opening up faster. It's moving quickly. This is exactly what we look for. So it's got room above 1850. There's 19. Over 19 would be an add for a move to 20. Daily resistance is at $33. Watching. Adding there, 75. Next target, $20. Once you get something that starts to go parabolic and starts going straight up, that's when I want to start getting aggressive. So looking for, there's 1920. I want to see 1950. And then over $19.50, it's an add for the break of 20. Watching here, this is now our third leading gapper, up 60%. Holding 4,000 shares at 1809. $1.9 million shares of volume, almost 4 times relative volume versus Friday. Taking a little profit off the table at 1906, 1915. Looking to add on dips. Watching, adding there. The reason I added was because it held support at 19. So now I'm going to look for this dip here and then a pop back up to 1950. Still holding. Looking for 1925, 1950. Dip trades are what I'm looking at here. Adding at 48. So trying to buy that dip there on Nete, N-E-T-E. And now looking for the pop back up over $19. So we've got 1850 on the ask. Sold at 18 for now. Took a loss on that dip. The high is 1942. The VWAP is at 17. $17.59 is the low of this pullback. I'm long here at 18. I'm going to try to do a dip trade on this. Back up to 1850. There's 1830. I'd like to see 1850, 1855. Sold at 18 for now, 18.18. Low that pullback was 17.58. High volume there, but we have now about 10 seconds to the bell. So I'll be trading this into the open. I'm going to be putting my order up around 19, watching dips. Looking for a dip down to 17 for a bounce off VWAP. Look for it to sell off. Watching. Let it break. I'm long right there, buying that dip for the break over 18. All of a sudden you see the volume coming in. I'm in at 1776, 12,000 shares. Holding. Over 19 is an add. Adding there for the break of 19. Taking profit 19.25. 2.8 million shares of volume. High is 1942. I'm going to let it dip down for a second and then add. Adding there. Looking for this now to break over 1950 through the highs. So now we're starting to see this open up a little bit more. We want to see 1950. Dip trades and then a break over 1942. Watch right through here. I'm adding at 54, buying the dip. Now looking for the pop back up over $19. This is a 1 minute pullback and then 1942. Through 1950 is where I'm going to get more aggressive. WIMI halting going up. That's good to see. Sold Nete for a small loss on my add. Now coming back down to the VWAP, adding at 55, doing a dip trade off of 55 on Nete because this is right at the volume weight average price. So looking for that pop back up over 18. Watch the break over 18. There's 83 on the ask, 81. I want to see this rip through 18. There's 95, 96. Still holding, looking to do a dip, adding at 91. Buying the dip at 91 brings my cost basis down. Still looking for that first candle to pop up for rip back up through now 1750, 18. Holding. Choppy at the open. Sold the rest there at 1725. So stopped out of that for now. So what a rush there from the 12,000 share long at that dip all the way up to 19. Added on the pullback here, stopped out, added back, stopped out. So 4 million shares of volume, sitting up at the moment, $28,000, $29,000. Not bad for 933. I probably gave back a little bit of profit there. I wasn't looking to see how much I was up at my peak, but not bad. First 1 minute candle to make a new high. I think I'm going to sit tight on it for a second. WIMI, W-I-M-I, halted going up. Not super surprising, but just take note that it's right under the VWAP, so we'll watch that on resumption. So first 1 minute candle to make a new high would be back over 18. This is coming back down to the low, 1662. I'm going to take a dip trade there at 1676. It's a double bottom, and I'll just hold this. Over 18 would be where I would add, and then I could get myself back up to 15,000 shares. So double bottom right here. Stop is break even, holding, and looking to add. As long as this holds this level, then I can add over 18 for the squeeze back up through high day. So holding right now, not selling. Looking for this to hold this level, break over the highs of this little consolidation, 1750, 1755, 1760, and then curl back up towards 18. First 1 minute candle to make a new high is my add. So high of this last candle is 80. So 1780 is the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. I'm going to put my order at 18. Watching the add, adding right there. Now looking for this to rip up through, so I've got 12,000 shares. Looking for this to rip up through 1850. High is 47. I took some profit at 20. Puts me up 39,000 on the day. New orders at 1850. High is 47. First 1 minute candle to make a new high is a good setup, but really want to see it hold those levels. Sold the rest, and I'll look, I don't know, maybe 62 for another dip trade, but I did stop out. There's WIMI opening higher. WIMI, next halt level, 2431. Nete. Wow, WIMI's super strong right now. So I'm going to switch probably my focus to this one since this is the one that's much stronger. Halt level's 2593 right now. Wow. So is it going to halt? This is the market we're in. Wow. All right, so Nete is pulling back a little bit. And again, we didn't get a chance to do the pre-trading checklist. So did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Do you have a couple stocks on watch this morning that you like? I hope you do. What's the condition of the overall market? It's hot. WIMI went up 500% on Friday. It's up another 77% this morning. And Nete with this letter of intent this morning ended up making a pretty big move here from 12 up to 19. I am sitting at 937 up 39,000. What's the total? 39,250 and 92 cents. 5 million shares on Nete, making it almost 10 times higher volume than on Friday. And WIMI is halted going up. I'm going to look for another trade on that. So WIMI is halted, and INMB as in boy, is also halted. This one, I don't see a headline on it. I'm not sure if anyone else sees news. All-time highs on it are up here around, what is this, 1052 or so? Or 1152, 1150. But I don't see a headline on it. Resumption, it's only got 136,000 shares of volume, which would be okay if I had breaking news, but I don't see news on it. So I'm going to leave that one alone, and the one I'm going to focus on is WIMI. So again, I want to try to focus on the one that I think is going to be more predictable, is going to give us better price action, and I would say at this point it's this one. But the fact is, this has just squeezed from $20 to $25. I would be getting in after the second halt. So I would have to really wait for a dip. Nete not the absolute easiest. Did a false break of VWAP where it squeezed up to 1847, which is disappointing, but you know, sometimes that happens. So I'll keep NETE on watch on another chart over here. We've still got a couple minutes to resumption on WIMI. So today I was trading pre-market and all of a sudden the bell was ringing. It was just caught up real quick. So we'll watch for resumption on WIMI, which will be in about 2 minutes. Those of you guys on YouTube, Facebook, I wasn't planning on doing the live stream today, but all of a sudden the bell was ringing. So I'll give you guys another few minutes of live stream. Appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up, because typically I wouldn't do this on a Monday, but you guys are in for a little bit of a treat today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Questions, comments, you can leave them below, and check out some of the links in my description if you do have questions on platforms, my strategy, and things like that. And again, reminder guys, you cannot blindly follow me or anyone else. We all know day trading is hard. It's very hard. Day trading is very risky. You've got to manage your risk by practicing a simulator before you ever trade with real money. So prove you can be profitable before you put real money on the line. All right, so I do see INMB resumed. INMB, but again, with no news, I wanted to be cautious on that. The high is 956. Sometimes over 956, I would say that would be a possible long, but I'm not going to do that. NETE curling back to the VWAP. It's got to break the VWAP. And now back to WIMI. WIMI is halted at 25.93, and daily, I mean, really, it's at high $39 pre-market. So there's no daily resistance. There's some pre-market levels, but it was light volume. So I'm going to watch this for a dip trade. I want to let it dip. Taking a long right there at 88. I just bought that dip at 23.88. I'm up $1 a share, holding. Is it going to break over 25? No, I'm selling. So I'm actually still holding 114 shares. That's fine. I'll look to do a dip trade on resumption off the VWAP. So I got a partial fill on the exit. The high was 26.20. So basically what I did, I let it dip down. I punched the buy button at 23.88. It popped up here to a high of, well, I don't know, whatever this was. It did pop up for a second there up to 25. Looked like it was going to break maybe over 26 and then dip back down. So right now I'll be holding some size into the halt going down, small size, and then coming out of that, I'll look to do a bounce off the VWAP. So let's see. Yeah, I got a partial fill at 24.33 when I hit the bid, and the rest was 23.99, and then the rest I was holding into the halt. Yep, INMB. So again, the high is 56. So 56 is the spot where typically I would say, you know, it's interesting, but again, no news creates a little bit more risk there. EQ halted. Little red to green move. Yep, a lot of volatility here this morning. All right, so EQ. Yeah, I'll watch that on resumption. WIMI right now looks like resumption might be around 22. It was halted going down. 42.57 was the halt, so 47.57 will be resumption. All right, so let's see. We've got the high is 26.20 right up there. Pull back down in this area of 22. VWAP is 22.28. So I'm going to put an order around $22. Go with 1,500 shares, a little smaller on the size. EQ resumption there. But again, I want to focus on WIMI first. All right, so WIMI coming down here, resumption in about 30 seconds. Halted at 23.35. So I've got a little profit on this one. I'm going to see whether or not we get a dip down to 22. Watching on resumption. Orders at 22.40. So it ended up opening high. It opened at 24. I thought it was going to open around 22. So first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Again, I'm going to let it dip down here closer to 22.50. The low was 22.41. Back over 24. I'm going to add here for the break back over $24. Looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So what I'm kind of thinking on this is that break back over 23.50, then 23.60. A little churn. Huh. Kind of would have thought it would have broken a little faster than that. So I'm only holding 100 shares still. The low of this last pullback was 22.41. I'm going to let it dip. I'm long. I bought right there for the dip. Just did a dip trade on this. Now looking for it to pop back up towards 23. So, basically trying to catch the dip off the lows, but we'll see. It's got to break back through 22. No, stopped out. So gave back on my profit trying to dip trade that. It's just, again, it's not a bad idea, but it's just weaker. It's just not holding up super well. So, all right, well, we'll let that consolidate for a minute. I'll keep that one on watch over on another chart. Nete is curling back up. The high this last level was 1720. The VWAP is at 1725. Orders at 1725 on Nete for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I'm long there, 17. Adding at 1750. High there, 1742. Orders at 1750, and then look for a rip up. Adding there, looking for the rip up towards 18. So that's the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and the high here is 1775. I'm going to hold this for a second, and then over 1775 is an add for the breakthrough, adding there for the breakthrough 18. So now we're starting to rip up a little higher. I want to see this up over 18 through 1825, 1850. Looking for that breakthrough 18. Micro pullback here under 18. Man, this Nete is... So now that we've broken the VWAP, unlike back here, we have to hold the VWAP. So I'm going to let it dip down for a second. Watching. This is a micro pullback. Looking for the add on the dip. So it's common that they come back and retest the breakout level, which is the volume weighted average price in this case. So it's holding that level back over 1780 to me would be a long to add. Adding there for the breakthrough 18. There we go. Taking some profit off the table, 1810, 1815. High a day is 45. 1850 is my next order. This needs to, again, continue to hold these pullbacks. And then the spot that we want to see for this to really get interesting is back over $19. So I'm only holding small size now. I'm going to let it consolidate. High is 1845, so I'm going to put my order at 1850. Increasing volume here is exactly what we want to see. High of this current 1-minute candle is 1820. Adding right there and looking for this to rip up to 1847, 1850. Over 1850. Then for a squeeze up to 75. Watch here. Adding there at 50. Looking for this break and the rip up to $19. So I want to be adding on all pullbacks on this and riding the momentum as it squeezes higher. So I'm looking now for $19. Halt level is 1947. Watch over 1875. Pull it together, girl. High of that candle is 1874. So 1875 is my new order. This is the dip that I'm adding on, 1850. So I just added there on that pullback. Now looking for 19. $19 is my new order, and then 1950, and a squeeze through the pre-market highs. Watch here. 79 on the ask, 80, adding there for the breakthrough 19. There's 1910. I want to see this continue through this level. High is 1909. New orders at 1910. Watching. Looking to add. Adding there at 83 for the break back over 19. 1910, that's the breakout spot. We want to see it rip through that level. My cost basis has moved up to 1864. Going to give it a chance to do a pullback here. Taking profit off the table. New orders to buy a dip. So let's see. This is what we're working with right now. Very high volume on that breakout, the break of VWAP. High was 1909. Be watching to do trades on pullbacks. High of that candle's 1909. 8.9 million shares of volume. So the low there was 1823. Want to let it come back down for a bounce off 18. WIMI, I do see that back above the VWAP. I can keep an eye on it. But it's a little hard to trust. I added on NETE at 21. Watching. Looking for the break over 1845, 1850. And then the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. High of this current candle's 1860 with 10 seconds left. So we're going to look for the first first 1 minute candle to make a new high over 1860 for a retest of 19. Adding there. Is it going to break over 19? New orders at 1910. Looks like a lot of volume. 1910, watching the add spot here. Still holding. Adding there at 90. Now looking for this to squeeze up to the high of 45. $19.25 would be, hey girl, come on girl. $19.25 would be a possible add spot. Just going to give this a second. So rejection at the double top, breaking back below VWAP. What's the low here? I'm back in at 17. I'll try to take a dip trade on this back up to 17.25. On this type of setup, basically, when we've got an irrational sell-off like that, I just try to buy the dip for the curl back higher. So I'm in at 17. I'm holding. I'm looking for that first candle to make a new high and pop back up to 17.25, 17.50. Once it starts to curl, feels usually like the wind is at my back. So here over 17.15 would be an adding there, and now looking for this to squeeze up to 17.25. 17.50 ideally. Again, you just see how it starts to curl up, and it's like you just hold on. So there's 15, 18. So back down to the lows, double bottom. I'm still holding 168 shares. I had taken profit at 22 and 15. So back to a small position, look for the next entry, the next trade. And you know, the volatility that we're seeing on this isn't that much different than what we are seeing on WIMI. And took the rest off on Nete. Actually, a partial fill. I have 8 shares, but whatever. Auto. NBY. EQ. So yeah, WIMI halting twice going up, once coming down, popping back up through the VWAP, back down. So you could just see very choppy there. So I'm going to sit tight for a few minutes. We'll see what Nete and WIMI do. In order to take some more trades, I really need to see a stock at high a day, ripping, squeezing, and moving pretty quickly. So I don't have anything right now that I'm looking at that's at the highs, so I'm just going to sit tight for a few minutes. Again, those of you guys streaming on YouTube, Facebook, you got a special treat today just because all of a sudden before I knew it, the bell was ringing. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you hit the thumbs up button and like this video, the live broadcast. My trading strategy is almost 100% technical analysis, and I rely heavily on level 2, tape reading, time and sales, but equally so on candlestick patterns. First 1 minute candle to make a new high, technical levels like the VWAP, moving averages, and things like that. So WIMI, not my best one today, but that's fine. Nete was pretty good for me, and hopefully we will still see more opportunity. I'm just taking a little bit of a breather here. It's 10 a.m., but we may still see some good opportunity between 10:30 and 11, 10 or even 10 and 11, just based on the action that we've seen this morning, right? So when we see this kind of action, it's definitely a good indicator of a hot market. I'm sitting up $62,000 right now in about an hour of trading. I started right around 9 a.m. with my first trades on eCore. WIMI, $1,700 of profit. Not a lot there, but green at least. Gave back some profit on it. NETE, you know, I had some series of winners, gave back some profit. I mean, it wasn't like just straight up. I made money, gave back a little, made it back, you know, gave back a little. Today, some of my dip trades have not worked as well. I've had a couple of bigger losses on dip trades on NETE, so I'm not really sure. Maybe that just happens to be how it is today. But how did I know that NETE, WIMI, and eCore were 3 stocks worth trading? Well, it comes down to a system that I use every single day to try to find stocks that have the potential to make a big move. It's a system of reviewing the, I would say, 5 most important criteria for home run potential. And those of you guys that want to learn more about that, I encourage you to register right here to my free day trading class. So I'm going to put that link there for you guys. During that class, I'll walk you through my risk management. I'll walk you through how I find stocks to trade, and then I'll expand upon my exact entries and exits. So while you guys register to that workshop, there'll be a replay of it at 1 p.m. Eastern today if you want to watch it then. I'm going to put my eyes back on WIMI. All right, so I'm watching WIMI here as it's curling back up. $24 is clearly the breakout spot. I'm just kind of, I have my eye on it. It's choppy. It's got 11 million shares of volume and bigger spreads. I want to buy dips on it. So I got long right there. I'm long WIMI, but I didn't get a very good fill. See, this is a perfect example where I hit my hotkey. I thought I was going to be in at $24, and you know what I got filled at? $24.85. I filled at $24.85 with my hotkey. Now I pressed the hotkey twice. So the first fill was below 24, and the second one was $24.85. So my average is $24.18. High a day on this is $26.20. Watched here over 25. Adding there for the break at 25, and I sold the whole thing at 25.32 for now. That puts me up just on those trades right there. Now 3,400 on WIMI. So I just added. Now I'm up at 64,000 on the day. WIMI, I'm still interested in. I'll watch it on resumption, but let's be mindful of risk. This thing has just gone from 21 to 25. It's due for a dip, so I'll wait for a dip, and then hopefully be able to get a dip and then add for the rip back through the high a day. All right, so this one's looking better. EQ, breaking the VWAP here. The high is 966. I'm not sure on that one. Nice, Brian. He says he's got the same entry. He's in at 24.85 and sold at 25.32. And that's what we'd say is a nice, quick little breakout trade. The risk entry at 85, it's not perfect, but a high level of conviction that it would break through the next level. It did, and taking profit as it goes. So EQ, again, this one had a high back here earlier, quite a nice move. At this point, I'm just watching it. I have kind of missed some of the maybe better entries. So first 1 minute candle to make a new high is 55.56. It's pulling back a little bit. I'll put my order at 67. Watching. So I'm long there at 55 for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. There's 69. I want to take profit as it squeezes higher. The high is 70. Over 70 is a possible add. We'll see if it moves up towards, watching, moves up towards 10. So a dip down back there. Let's see what it does. It's going to hold the $0.50. It's flushing a little bit more. Watching. Back over 55.60. So I just added down there on that dip. I added at 9. An irrational drop like that, usually I'm going to try to add to catch the pop coming back up. So I'm looking for this over 925. I've got 906, 907, there's 911. I want to see 915, 925. No, I cut the loss. Actually, I averaged down, so $89 winner. But it's nothing to be excited about. I would say usually an irrational drop is 50 cents or more, and that was kind of gross. Could have done a dip there off of 50, but now it's back below the VWAP, so I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, so back to WIMI. All right, so NETE is back down, nothing on that. WIMI resumption is going to be in about 2 minutes. So yesterday, I shared with you guys on my Facebook page a little session, live stream session that Peter Mulvey was doing. He's a musician here in the Berkshires, Western Mass, and you guys have heard him on a few of my other live streams. Every now and then I'll play his music, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see. Maybe we'll see when we host one of our next events if we can get him to come down and hang out with us. So watching WIMI here, resumption in about 10 seconds. Halt was 25.32. I'm going to put my order at 26. Looking for a dip. Let it dip. It's holding. I'm adding. I'm long right here. Took some profit at 26, holding 750 shares. I'm going to let it dip down again. And on the next dip, I'm going to look to add for the break of 26.50. Watching. Adding at 66 right there. Looking for this back over 26 and 26.50. 26.25 is an add spot. Watch here, 26.25. We want to see it rip a little bit higher. Still holding, letting it pull back. Looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Sold break even at 62 for now. Next order is going to be the high. See, that really needed on this little dip to rip back up over 26.50. See, this is tough because now you've got this red sort of topping tail candle on the 5. Look at this sell-off. I'm going to take a long here at 23.13. I'm buying at 23.13, trying to buy the dip. So there's 47. Is it going to pop up to 24? It's 55, 65. I'm in at 23.13 right now. I'm looking for $24 a share. Sold. Not bad though. Well, had some nice action on it, but it's not at $30. That's what we really want. I'd love to see it a little more than that. I didn't trade big size on this though, so. So this is kind of a bear flag. The high was 26.57. So where's the next spot? It's only quarter past 10, so Might still see some more opportunities. Open. So that 5-minute candle just closes a red doji. Tesla today, high price, but wow, that's a gap and go. Such a short squeeze. Incredible. Volume weight average price is 22.79. I'm long 22.78 for a bounce off the VWAP. I want to see it pop up to 23.50, 23.70. There's 23.67. You know, when you trade in this price range, it's not as hard to get 50 cents or $1 a share. Hidden seller there at 58 or 50. Sold the rest, 21 for now. That hidden seller is in the way. I can tell there's a hidden seller just on the level 2, but of course, you know, as you can see, sometimes they'll break through that level. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't have the potential to break. It's just always a little bit of a risk factor when you see there's a hidden seller. So the high back there was 24.93. So you got the bounce off the VWAP. And, you know, the question is this going to really open up? And the 2 times it's kind of had a chance to. It's pulled back down right here at 940 and then again right here. So maybe just have to let it consolidate a little longer. So hidden buyers, yep. If I see the tape is red, but it's holding up and I see a hidden buyer, that's when I'll be very likely to do a dip trade. I definitely see that as a sign of strength. No, Colin. I haven't used that. First 5-minute candle to make a new high would be back over 24.93. Seems like it's basing out a little bit. The high back there was 24.50. Let's see whether or not it wants to break 24.50. I have a long at 24.50 for a starter for the break through the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. It's a little aggressive of an entry. That's why it's only a starter. Over 24.50, or sorry, 25 would be my add, the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. So the high right there is 78. So actually 78 would be the add spot. Right now we're getting a little consolidation right underneath the 5-minute breakout on WIMI. Watching 78, adding at 70. So looking for this to squeeze up to 75, 85, and then up over 25. There we go. Now new order goes at $26. First 5-minute candle has made a new high with a high of 25.50. Over 25.50 is an add for a squeeze to 26. Let's see if it holds this level here. Adding at 25.10. Seems like it's holding $25. So looking for this. Watching. High 25.50 sold. Oh gosh, that looks like, see, that's a hidden buyer. That's a hidden buyer there at 25. Let's see if it holds. I got faked out. The high of day is 26.57. So that was that hidden buyer there. But of course, on this type of stock, I knew it could drop, 50 cents. So I sold and at least was green. But all right, so now where do I get back in? The high there was 25.80. So maybe over 25.80 for a squeeze through 26.50. Is it going to hold down here at 25? It's back down at this $25 spot. Looks like it might break. I'm taking a long here. I'm buying the dip off of $25. Looks like it's holding this level. We've got the hidden buyer right there. So I'm buying and now looking for this back over 25.50, and then I can add through 26. So I'm going to be holding and looking to add over 25.50. Again, as long as we've got that hidden buyer there, I'm okay with holding. Looking for 25.50 for an add. Still holding, not selling, still holding, looking for a squeeze now up towards $30. Still holding full size, not selling. Looking for the break at 27 and a halt 27.22. So watch here over $27. There we go. Selling 3/4 into the halt and holding the rest at $25.09. It's pretty good. I don't want to hold the full position into the halt just because, the last couple times it's popped up, it has failed. So I'm going to try to, on the resumption, look to do a dip trade. Even if I wasn't already in, I would look to do a dip trade on the resumption. And I'm still holding, but dip trade on resumption and then look for a squeeze up to 28, maybe 30. We know our pre-market high was up at $39, so we still have a little ways to go. But what do we have? Highest volume of the day on this green candle, halted going up. It's a good setup. And, you know, coulda, woulda, held the whole position into the halt. Well, what if this ends up, you know, what if it opens at 26? Then I'm going to be like, gosh darn it, why didn't I sell half at 27? Take a little profit off the table. So I took some profit off the table. I'm sitting up 76,000 right now. Tesla, not a bad setup. It's holding the volume weighted average price, but too expensive to trade outright stock. Would be a better one for trading options, I would think. Trading the stock on it would just be tremendously expensive. And hard also, just because the level 2 is, I mean, this is the level 2 of Tesla. Look at these spreads. I mean, it's very hard to watch the level 2 on a stock like this. So this gets to the spot where you say, you know, I'm not going to really use the level 2. I'm just going to focus on the chart pattern, and I'm going to use the options chain. So my general rule of thumb is that I walk away once I start losing money. So as long as I'm still making money, I keep trading. But if I start to lose a little bit, that's when I walk away. Now, that's a kind of tricky rule because you want to make sure you don't lose too much before you decide to walk away. But I mean, on a stock like WIMI, it wouldn't be impossible for me to lose, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 on a trade that goes the wrong way. It wouldn't be impossible at all. So, you know, as long as I walk away with at least $50,000 today, that would be fantastic. That would even leave me room to lose $25,000. So, I don't want to lose that much, but I've got a big cushion on the day. So I don't want to reverse my charts because this is the way I look at them. This is how I use them. I could move my video over here though. So yeah, coming up towards 100K on the day, 25,000 to go. That's still a ways, but might be able to make it happen. We'll see. So the halt time was 24:16. Resumption will be 29:16. So that Tesla pattern, very nice. Back over 1750, 1748. Look for a move back towards the high. But again, when you have that kind of blowout candle where it just rips up like that, it doesn't always go all the way back to that level. And that's kind of a problem that we have with WIMI as well. We had such a big move earlier. I don't know if we'll get back that high. But we do have increasing volume. More traders are clearly jumping into this. I have a cushion on it, so I'm starting to be a little more aggressive myself. Watching for resumption here. I'm still holding at 25.09, a quarter of my initial position, and I'm going to look for a dip trade. So the halt was 27.22. It looks right now like it might open just a little lower. I'm going to sell the rest. I'm going to let it dip down. And over 27.50, I'm adding back at 27 right there, looking for the break through the highs. So again, trying to be aggressive on this, looking for the squeeze up to 27.50 and then 28. Still holding 28. Selling 27.90. New order goes at 28. I'm going to buy a dip. Watching. Adding there. buying the dip for the breakthrough 28. There's 28.48, looking for 29. Over 28.50 is an add. Watching. Adding there 28.40, looking for this to squeeze up through 29. So again, just trying to buy these dips for the move higher. Still holding, looking for this to pop up through 24, 24.50. Some big buyers on the level 2, that's what we like to see. 13,000 share buyer right there. Now we don't know if that's a short seller getting squeezed out or what that is, but okay, so high is 28.66, new orders 29. Looking for dips. Adding there 28.66. Trying to buy this dip for the pop back up to $29. Stopped out for now at 28.20. Up 80,000 on the day. I'm gonna let it pull back for a second. We've got a high of 28. What was that? 28.86. Now it's a flash down, right? Wouldn't surprise me if it halted going down. Halt level going down to be 25.15. This is kind of what this one does. It rips up, then it flushes down. So there was an opportunity to do a dip trade on it, but I was not as eager because I thought of the potential that it would halt going down. So these stocks, Nete and WIMI, neither are available to borrow to short. So I wouldn't be able to short either of these even if I wanted to. So it's just not an option. It's just not an option to short, even if I want to. So I can only trade this one direction. And I don't know if it's would have been a good one to short. I mean, not that you haven't had some nice drops here, but if you got it going the wrong direction. So what's the level? High this last candle is 28.20, so back over 28. If it breaks over 28 and then through the high of 28.50, watch here. Look for 29. Watching. Adding long. Looking to ride this momentum up to 29.50. This is just irrational strength right now that you're seeing. Dip trades, I'm going to add. Watching for dips to add. Because what I want to do on this is ride the momentum up to 30 bucks. So I'm holding. I'm going to let it dip down. And then first 1 minute candle to make a new high over 29 is an add for the move up to 30. So watching this over $29. A little choppy right now. Still holding. Only got 2,800 shares. This is a 1 minute pullback underneath the high. Watch 28.50, 28.60, 28.70. Low down here is about 20. Watch. Hands on the buy button for an add over 29 and then a rip up to 30. Adding right there for the breakthrough 29. Selling half 29.43. New high is 29.50. So I sold for right now. I'm going to look to do dip trades on it. High is 29.50. I want to try to catch dips off of 27.50. So I'm watching this area here to see whether or not I can get another dip. Big green candle, but a doji on the 5. High was 29.50. Looks like some hidden buyers down there around 28. High is 29.50. Looking to add. Watching. I'm looking for that curl back up over 28.50. So I want to add around, well, if I could get in around 27.50, that would be awesome. Watching. Over 29 is a long. Orders at 29. Watching. So the high a day is 29.50. I'm going to put an order at 29.50. Watching right here. This is consolidation right underneath 29. I'm long, buying at 28.22, and then I'm going to add over 29. Trying to buy this dip. Adding there, 29, looking for this to rip up through 29 and then 29.50. And then a squeeze back maybe towards $30. Still holding. Looking for it to break over 29. Orders at 29.50 to add. This right now is just consolidating right underneath the highs. Watching. Looking for my add through 29 and then 29.50. Got 28.75 on the ask. Still holding. Little dip down. I mean, generally I don't want to get stopped out only for it to pop back up. It's back to 28.50, 28.75 right now. Now if it rips through 29, it's going to make the rip even more powerful because of that little false breakout there, or breakdown. There you go. So will we see 29.50? I took profit into that break, but still holding 650 shares. Looking to add on dips. Watching around 27.50 for a dip trade. Watching down here. Watching. Hidden buyer, I'm long. Just bought that dip. Looking for this to pop up back through 28. There's 78, 75. Sold at 58 for now, up 83,000. So it's definitely a little bit of a struggle up here. It's churning. It's a little top heavy. So I'm up 22,000 on WIMI and 59,000 on Nete. So 83,000, 186 on the day, and it's 10:40. This is pulling back a little bit more. I'm gonna watch this down in this area. So it's giving these kind of like flushes of like 25, 30 cents. Like right there, it was at 26.50 and then boom, down to 26.20. And when I took my dip, it was at 27.50 and then boom, right down to 27. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize where that was. There's the P&L. 26.50 or 27. So again, it's flushing a little bit on some of these dips, which makes me a little nervous. But then, of course, on some of the breakouts, it's really ripping and opening up quickly. Nice, Larissa. Good job.